Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Cosmic Mystical Goddess. I'm back with another video. Yes guys, today is the day I am going in, alright? I am going to be consuming some magic mushrooms, also known as psilocybin, okay? So this stuff is really transformative. It's like the vehicle into the spiritual world, okay? So I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about it. I'm gonna bring you guys on the journey with me. I can't record the whole thing continuously because obviously I'm probably gonna be all over the place. So you guys are gonna see me in my most vulnerable state. And I think at some point I'm gonna put sunglasses on because I don't even wanna look at myself. I was told that when you take it, you're not gonna wanna see yourself. So if I'm holding the camera looking at myself, I'm gonna obviously see myself. So it's gonna be a little hard. So I think I would do it with glasses. Probably make you guys laugh your butts off. Anyhow, yo, it's gonna be really trippy. It's gonna be exciting. I cannot wait to do this. I've been like prepping for this for like over a week, right? I've been just thinking of how I'm gonna do it, been setting my intentions. So getting into it now, I'm gonna tell you guys what it's about, what it's for, da 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 da. Okay, so I have a little cheat sheet in front of me. You see me looking down quite a bit because it's kind of a lot of information. I'm really excited because I'm in the moment. I just can't wait to do it. Yes. Okay, so it's used in therapy treatments most commonly nowadays. Okay, it has taboo to it, and people like it's like acid and LSD and all these things, and it's negative. But there's all this negative connotation. But I wonder why, because there was that too when it was said about marijuana years ago. They're like, oh, marijuana doesn't make you crazy, it's addictive, it's a drug, da da da. And now they're everywhere. A lot of states, a lot of places, even in Canada, almost every province has dispensaries, like corner stores. You can go to any one of them, okay, and find and get any type of strain of marijuana, basically. So it's used in treatments and for therapy. So if you have like mental health illness, mental health issues, I should say, anxiety, it helps with that. It aids with PTSD of any kind, you know, trauma from childhood, trauma from even past lives, trauma from, you know, things that you're going through now in the mundane life and you know, you feel like there's no option for you. Addictions of any kind, whether it be food, alcohol, drugs, substance abuse, you know, of any nature. It works and it helps people. There were studies that shown that people who were that had mental health issues and that were on medication, they would have the option to try psychedelic like mushrooms and do it like over 2 times, and they would not need any kind of pharmaceutical for years to come. So I'm not telling you guys to do this at all by any means, you know what I mean? Just do what you do. If it resonates with you, do it. If it doesn't, don't do it, because I am not promoting it. This is just my journey, and I'm just giving you the information that I researched and studied about it for my own personal use. So I'm just sharing it with you guys, okay? And it helps obviously with consciousness and being aware and going into that realm, okay? Oregon will be legalizing it over the next few years, and I know that in Colorado, Denver, it is legal there. So if you want to go to Colorado and buy you some shrooms, it is there, okay? In Canada, there's a lot of dispensaries in at least 4 provinces I know of. I think Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec, and British Columbia. So there's dispensaries everywhere. They open, they close them, they open, they close them. But a lot of them stay open for like 7 months at a time, and they close them down and they open up again. So it's just a matter of time before they become legal, like they did with the marijuana dispensaries. They would open, close them, same thing, right? So it's just a matter of time, guys. Also, there are retreats in Mexico because the Aztecs used to use this, right? Like over 2,000 years ago, mushrooms was huge for them. Like that was really part of their rituals and stuff. And it was highly revered, even also with some Native American, Native Americans or Native Indians. I don't know, there's a correct terminology, so I don't want to be offensive, you know, and say something to be disrespectful, but you guys get what I'm saying, okay? Also an ancient Kemet. Oh, and Porto Verlatar, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Vallarta, that's it, Puerto Vallarta. It's such a tongue twister. Anyhow, they have retreats there, so if you want to go and do a whole ceremony with shrooms, you can go there, okay? Also, in ancient Egypt, the temple of Hathor, which means the house of Horus, which is her husband here, Horus, and his dad, Osar, okay? In Egypt, also known as Kemet, for those who like to call it the land of the black, right? In Africa. So she is the cow goddess, right? Hathor, and she's the goddess of fertility, protection, mother nature, music, and so many other aspects as well, okay? And the thing is, only high priest and high priestess were allowed to come in there. If you were going to be initiated into one, was allowed in that temple. Like, just not any and anyone can go in there. And on the walls, the hieroglyphs on the wall, you would see a lot of like scarab beetles. You would see the lotus, the blue lotus. You would also see mushrooms. All right. So you guys can do your research. If you want, I can put a video that you guys can watch in there. But I mean, you guys can just Google it or look for it on YouTube. There's a lot of information about ancient Egypt, Kemet, with shrooms, okay? The psychedelic ones. So getting into that, the scarab beetle, right? The lotus and the mushrooms. The reason why I mention it, those are all sacred, and you'll see that across many of the different temples and pyramids in Egypt anyways. So the scarab beetle is the dung beetle. That's what it is. You know, dung beetles, they cherish poop. And where the poop come from, and the poop that they cherish the most is cow dung, okay? And that dung is where a lot of psychedelic mushrooms grow, all right? So I know one of them is, what's the name again? Liberty caps is one of them, all right? There's so many. There's over 200 species of psychedelics, anyways, mushrooms, so there's a lot. But Liberty caps are like the tall, skinny ones. Those are kind of ones that you see on it. They kind of look like the Trinity ones, okay? Also, the dung beetles, they use the Milky Way to navigate. So they navigate using the Milky Way, the stars, the moon, and the sun. So if it's daytime, they use the sun, and the night they use the moon and the Milky Way to guide them, all right? So they are highly revered in ancient Egypt. So that is a reason why, okay? Because of their, the attachment to how they use the cosmos to follow and make their way home. They cannot navigate without it. If they put shutters on them, I know there's a study with NASA, they put them in a planetarium and they put like blindfolds, like shutters on the side of their eyes so they can see, and they weren't able to go anywhere. They would bounce into walls, like they were just not, and there's a video on that too. If I can find it, I will put the link in my description box so you guys can watch it, okay? If you guys like this video so far, please like, share, and subscribe. Please, 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 I appreciate it, so I can bring you guys more juice and nuggets, all right? So that being said, the lotus now is the blue lotus of the Nile River is also a psychedelic, okay? So I have it here, all right? So this is what it looks like. You can make a tea out of it, all right? You can just boil your water, and then you would let it cool for a few minutes and then pour it in your mug or your teapot or whatever. And this is what it looks like, okay? So if you guys haven't seen it, that's the blue lotus, all right? And this is very psychedelic as well. It's great for divination. It's also another vehicle into the spirit world, okay? And you can also smoke it, okay? I have a few in here. You can smoke it as well. You break it up and roll it, and you smoke it for divination purposes. If you're a reader, tarot cards, oracles, and you are the oracle anyways, but you use these tools, Reiki healer, anything that deals with spirituality, or just yourself, and you want to meditate, you want to have higher ascension, you can get you some of this. If you don't want to go the shroom route or whatever, if you don't feel comfortable, you know, you can use that. Also, there's mugwort, okay? Mugwort is really good for divination as well. You can smoke it and you can drink it, okay? If you're pregnant, I wouldn't do any of these things, okay? Also, make sure if you're taking medication, it doesn't counteract with what you're doing. I'm just telling you the uses and how you can. But I don't know if you, per se, can use it, okay? So I have to just put that as a disclaimer. So yeah, this is really good for warding off nightmares. So if you have young children or they have nightmares a lot, or babies and they're kind of frantic in their sleep, you can put it in a mojo bag and attach it to the top of their crib, because they're not allowed to have anything in their cribs or whatever. And or you can put it in their pillow if they're old enough, and put it like in a mojo bag, and it can help ward off like bad dreams, nightmares, and protection. And it's also really good for dreaming. So for yourself, you can make a dream pillow or put it in your pillow as well, and it helps that way too. Or just smoke it or make a tea. You can make the tea with the mugwort and the lotus if you feel like it. And you can also add what's the other one? Star anise. Star anise is really good, okay? Star anise is great for psychic working, you know, developing your spiritual gifts and heightening and making sure that you're downloading clearly, and it kind of gets you out of the way. So you can add that to your brew if you like, or you can do it on its own. It works just as well. So with the mushrooms that grow on the dung and all that stuff, I already explained that, and I'm telling you guys the link will be in the description for the video on it's called The Dung Beetle Uses the Milky Way as a Compass, okay? So that's really informative for you guys to watch. I hope you guys like that. So here, I'm not gonna promote where I got it from, because I'm not promoting this. So this is Reese's Pieces. No, this one is M&M's. I don't really care for the Reese's Pieces. I don't like Reese's Pieces flavor in general, but this will be my experience. So I took it off to turn it around, and I want to smell it and stuff. So I'm gonna consume like 2 bars, right here, these 2 right here. And I'm going to see what it does. For some people, they do microdosing. So microdosing is you take a little bit at a time and you just consume like piece by piece by piece till you feel some kind of change. It takes anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. Some people a little longer. If you're a smaller person, it might hit you quicker. You might only need 1 gram. You might need 3.5 or 3 if, you know, depending on your intake and what your body can consume. And you won't know until you try it, right? And that's with any and everything, right? So, like I said, you know, if you were to do something like this, make sure you're vibing high. You know, you're going into it with intention. It's really good. No fear and stuff like that with any of these type of workings. And that's even with just doing rituals in general. Like if your vibration is low going in, the chances of your thing working is going to be a lot. It can work, it might take a little longer because the energy isn't behind it, right? So what you put in is what you get. Or you can actually get mushrooms and eat them, okay, whole. So I am not going to be doing that on the camera because I don't want any issues. But orange juice is, I'm gonna drink some of this because I'm thirsty. I'm talking like 12 minutes now. So with that being said, orange juice helps us like accelerate and make it go a little bit quicker in your digestive system. Some people do it on an empty stomach, and some people consume it with food. So it's really up to you. Like, it's give and take. For some people, they want to eat it, and I heard it kind of tastes nasty, like, you know, and sometimes you might feel a little bit nauseated, and then you're gonna start feeling a little heat and stuff like that. So everybody's experience, like I said, is different. So I'm only gonna go off of what's happening to me. So I'm gonna try that and let you guys know, okay? Give me 1 minute. Okay, guys, so it's been about an hour, and I feel fantastic. Absolutely fabulous. I had to mute my friend because making me laugh too much. So yeah, an hour in, I feel giggly. My vibration is still high. No color changes, no patterns, nothing different. Just very much the same. I can still look at myself. I don't feel too morphed or nothing, but yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. Okay, guys, so I did record some of my experience, but only like a minute of it because I couldn't focus. I was crying way too much, like bawling. I didn't have a bad trip, but I did have a lot of shadow work healing being done, okay? So I understand what they mean. Like, it's really good for people who have like depression, anxiety, or any type of fears, phobias, addictions, all that stuff. It is very much warranted. Like, it is perfectly like dead on. I cried a lot. Like, I cried a lot. I wish I knew this after my divorce, because that would have helped me a long time ago. But that being said, it really is an eye-opener. Like I said, I'm not really forcing anybody to do what I'm doing, but I just know it really helped me. And I think over time, you guys too will see the transformation with my channel and just my growth as a soul, having a human experience in this vehicle, this body. I think you guys that have been here from day one will notice the changes within me over time, because I have, you know, seen some differences as well. And one being my speech. Normally I speak really, really, really fast. I know I have a tendency to be like, you know, because I have a lot of information and I just want to get it out there. And sometimes I just want to like speed through the video, you know, and just get it over with because I have other things to do, you know. But mostly it had a lot to do with my nerves and childhood trauma. Because, you know, I'm just going to be a little bit more transparent, pretty vulnerable. I'm putting myself out there, but I don't care, because maybe, you know, this will help some of you guys watching, okay? Because, like, I'm a spiritualist, you know, I teach and all that stuff, and I help people do a lot of things, but at the same time, I'm human, you know, and I think it's better to show people who you are and be realistic about it, because this walk isn't an easy one, you know. For those who look at a lot of people who are healers and teachers on here and stuff and have channels, let me tell you something, it's a lot of work. And I don't mean the work itself doing the channel, you learning what you're learning and the things that you had to go through. And you guys know, you guys are living on the same plane as me, so you guys have your hardships in life as well, right? So that being said, when I was a young girl, I grew up in somewhat of a toxic family. And, you know, not to knock them, but I'm being truthful. And, you know, a lot of abuse, a lot of verbal abuse too. And speaking was a hard thing for me to do, because when I would speak, you know, as a Caribbean descendant, we are not allowed to talk. Like, when you're spoken to, yes, but a lot of times just be seen and not heard kind of thing. Is a thing, right? So you just stay quiet, stay in your corner, be a kid, and that's that. But as a child, we have things that we want to say and input. And I mean, not just from like my young age of a child, but through my adolescence too, it was like that. In my early adulthood, it was always like that, right? Because they've set that tone with me, so I always spoke fast so that I can get it out. Because if I say and take my time explaining, they will kind of just dismiss me, shut me down, and just speak over me and just say what they got to say. So I learned to master that and just, and that was that. You know what I mean? So I got it out. Even if they didn't hear me, I still was able to say what I had to say. So retrospect, looking at it, going through my whole psychedelic experience, and crying and having to face these traumas that I didn't know that were really like hindering me in some areas of my life. You know, I work on my throat chakra. I work on myself. I meditate, I cleanse, I do a lot of healing work with myself all the time. I don't just tell people to do it. I pretty much practice what I preach, you know? But that being said, like, I learned that I have to be more kind to myself, you know? As much as I give to others, because as an earth angel, a spiritualist, a teacher, a healer, whatever you want to, as a light worker in whole, I tend to give and I overgive, and that too can be damaging, you know. Some of you guys may know, like, you're always giving people, but when it's time for you to receive, there's nobody really to give you, and that's okay. But you need to learn how to give yourself, you know. You have to learn how to set boundaries. You gotta learn how to retreat. You gotta learn how to preserve your energy for yourself too, and not just give to everyone, because you're gonna be depleted. You know, you're pouring into people, but who's pouring into your cup, you know? And I found that I overgave and overcompensated because I wanted to give what I never had. So, you know, you always want to do better, right? If you didn't have that, why would I be mean if I know I didn't like people being mean to me? So I'm going to try to be nice. But, you know, some people take your kindness for weakness too. that being said, setting boundaries for yourself, right? Knowing when to give and when to pull back. You know, and some people come in your life for a season and a reason, and you need to learn from it. And why do you attract the same type of people over and over? It's a reflection within yourself, you know? So I learned a lot about myself in the 4 hours that I was tripping, somewhat of a trip. It wasn't a bad trip. It was a really good trip. It didn't affect me like a lot of people where I seen colors and the walls were moving and the floor was moving. And no, I felt my body was highly sensitive, that I can say, but my mind was really much intact. But no matter what surfaced, I had to deal with it. Like if I felt the emotion to cry, like if I want to laugh, I'll just start laughing. If something made me laugh, I'm just gonna do it. But when I wanna cry, I noticed that I would hold back and I would just kind of like deviate and do something else so I don't have to be emotional and feel that exact emotion. So being on the shrooms in that experience taught me that I couldn't suppress it. Even if I wanted not to cry, I could not help it. I had to cry. Like there's no other way. And that's me breaking through those own obstacles, my own self-limiting beliefs about myself, you know? I may come across confident to you guys, which I think I pretty much am, but I have my own insecurities too, you know? So that being said, I learned a lot about myself, and I'm too a work in progress on them areas of my own life. And, you know, I'm really excited to see how it's gonna change me in months and days and weeks to come and years down the road, you know? Would I do it again? I probably, maybe. I may do it again. Because it wasn't bad. I just don't know if I'm gonna cry again, and I don't want to have to go through that. But if it's necessary to go through it again, that means I still have unresolved stuff that I need to bring to the surface so my higher self can live in unison with what I want to transpire. And I guess that happens with manifestation too, because your thoughts and your mind and your energy flows where your mind goes. So if I'm really operating in this fear base or in this negative mindset of myself, right, or not wanting to, people not wanting to hear what I have to say and not thinking I'm worthy enough, then I'm blocking myself. It's not any outside force. This is something that I have control to change. So there's problems, but there's always solutions. And I may not like this way of having to solve it, but I want it solved. So I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to make that happen, right? So for me, that was really, really beneficial. You know, like I said, I'm so grateful that I was able to discover that about myself. The really quick speaking, you know, my worthiness, you know, my limited beliefs about myself to some extent, you know, not putting some type of belief system like a blockage, like I'm not deserving to have this much success in my life, right? But I am, you know what I mean? And it's kind of self-explanatory because when I posted my first video 3 years ago, I only had like 17 views and like 7 subscribers or something like that. And I was like, oh my God, I thought this was gonna go viral. Like I just like, this is it, you know? And it didn't. It was slow, and it was like, you know, I thought nothing was gonna take place. And then now here we are today, and it's almost at 10K, you know, and it's evolving like I am, you know what I mean? And then I continue to move and keep growing and keep pursuing it, even despite the odds. I was still trying to find my way to navigate, right? And just see past my limiting beliefs. But this actually helped accelerate it, like put it on like full force in my face, like you have to deal with this. You're not gonna put it off today. You're not gonna suppress your feelings. It's gonna come out, and whatever needs to be revealed to you is gonna be revealed to you. And now if I want to embark on a journey of higher learning or whatever it is that I want to formulate for myself, that can now take place because I know what I need to do in order to get there. And I know now more than I've ever known in my 46 years of living. Really, pretty much in that 4-hour session, I learned so much about myself and forgiving myself first and foremost, you know, as I forgive those, right, who trespass against me. So you know, sometimes we're our biggest sabotagers. And, you know, I want you guys to like learn to hug yourself, pat yourself on the back, you know, any accolade. It could be the smallest thing, you know, love on yourself, all right? So that being said, you know, I'm gonna just jump into it. I'm gonna pull a few cards for you guys. I already kind of cleared my decks, and yeah. So it says, Angel of Clearing, your time of waiting and confusion is over. Okay, it'll soon be over. Okay, so if you guys are in a fog, I know retrograde has been hitting people like crazy, but I'm telling you guys, whatever you feel like you don't see your way, it's lifting, because this is like, it's happening right now. Okay, addiction and healing, you know, you are healing. It's positive transformation. So whatever addictive behavior you had, like I did, I was addicted to kind of fear-based thinking. So I released that, you know, and whatever addictions you're facing, whether it be overeating, you know, substance abuse, alcohol, any of those things, you know, overdoing it, doing something too much and not being balanced, is healing. Okay. And it's also someone that you love is thinking about you. Okay. So, and at this exact moment, so know that whoever's on your mind and you want to know if the love is reciprocated, it sure is. Okay. Get grounded, light workers. All right. Ground yourself, anchor yourself, envision your feet being anchored into the earth. Like, you know, and like I said, I think I said in a video a while back, you can actually get like some sand, get a bucket, get like a bag of sand, or you can buy some soil and then place your feet inside of it. And if you don't have access to going outside, I know the climate's changing depending on where you live, put your feet in that and anchor yourself and just ground yourself before you do any type of spiritual work, before you do any type of meditation or your daily schedule, like before you go into work. Take that 10 minutes to do that for yourself. Do it in the morning and do it in the night. Okay, stay grounded and connected to the earth. Okay, obstacles and challenges, those are being broken right now. Okay, you face them, they're there, but you're overcoming them. Okay, so don't focus on that. Know that they came and they're going. All right, your solar plexus is ready to be activated. Okay, this is your creative spot. This is your creative chakra. So if you've been stuck like wanting to write, you know, some of you guys want to, you know, create something or bring something into the platform, into this earth that you want to birth, work on your solar chakra. Okay, your solar plexus. All right, and triumphant success is what is going to be the outcome. All right, whatever you guys are working on and whatever you're planning, whatever's in your mind, the seed that you planted in your mind, don't be fearful at failing at it, because you'll never do it. So just do what it is you truly love. Okay, because that will bring you the greatest success in life. What I deem as success and what somebody else deems success for them are two different things. But one thing we have in common, we all want success. It may just look a little bit different. I may want, I don't know, a Mercedes, and you may want a Jaguar. But to us, those both equate success. You understand? So our ways of getting there may be different. Okay. Let me just see what's this deck saying here. Angel of diet and nutrition. Y'all need to start eating healthier. Okay, eat more greens. Vibrate higher. Okay, stop eating a lot of artificial food. Okay, a lot of junk food. A lot of you guys are ordering out too much. I know you like it. It's easy to do sometimes, and because groceries are so expensive, sometimes people feel it's better to order out. And if you do, just make healthier options. Make sure instead of taking a fry, get a salad. Okay, so try your best to not overindulge and eat healthy. All right. An idea connected to imagination and creativity is heading your way. I told you guys that solar plexus. So if you're stuck and you don't know what to do, work on your solar plexus. Go within yourself. Do a little bit of shadow work, because success is near. Okay. Something wondrous and magical is about to happen. All right, guys. Just keep an open mind. You see the butterfly? Maybe you guys are seeing a lot of butterflies, you know? Maybe you're seeing a lot of 111, 1111, 444. And if you're seeing 555, this is for you, okay? Victory and success. It is yours. That's the outcome, okay? And let me see if what's the moon saying here? Pull up my other deck. Your hard work is paying off. Like, it's self-explanatory. Like I said, I don't even need cards. I can just read you without it, you know? So I'm gonna try to set that up so that way I can give you guys live readings a little bit more often, and make it a little bit simpler for you guys, to like how to reach out to me, because I know I don't have much platforms on here for you guys to access me, just more to watch me, right? So if you guys would like to book a reading with me, put it down in the description box and let me know if that's something you're thinking of. Healthcare changes. Start eating right, start working out, right? Decisions, decisions, decisions. Decide what you want and not what you don't want. Focus on what you want. And be motivated. You're lacking motivation. This is the motivation that you need, okay? See, all the cards that I've used, I use like maybe 5 decks, and they all pretty much saying the same thing, okay? That's usually how it goes. They're just confirmation, confirmation, confirmation. I do past life readings. I do, you know, where you are now, where you're going kind of style. So I like to help you heal the vows that you made in the past life, or things that are triggering you now in this life to help you move forward. That's kind of how I do my readings. I do love readings as well, business, you name it, all right? So I hope you guys like this video. Stay tuned for more, because I will be uploading shortly. Bye for now.